Wizard101 in 2025. So in this video, I'm going to be looking back at the big updates that we saw in 2024, as well as looking at updates that I expect to see next year in 2025, as well as a wish list of things that I would love for the game to incorporate, but I'm not really too hopeful on them actually happening. So if you guys are excited for this, definitely leave a like, and let's get started. I'm in currently the most popular realm, Ambrose. There's actually 3 areas of Ambrose. We made it to area 1. And this is how many people are just hanging out in the comments, just talking to each other. You know, maybe they're AFK on the dock spinning with their mounts. But yeah, people still play this game. The Steam charts do not do this game justice, because if you look at that, that's only a small percentage of people that play this game through Steam, because the vast majority play this through Wizard101's own launcher. And we don't know the numbers for that. I wish we did. I wish they gave out monthly updates on how many players play this game. But it's got to be a decent amount, because the game has continued for this long, and there's tons of dedicated players. For anyone saying that this game is dead or is going to be dead soon, I don't see it. So if any of you have been out of the loop for a while, I want to go and show the world tree, because it gives us a good idea of where we're at in terms of how many worlds they've added into the game. Here we are. Here's the world gate. Let's go ahead and look at all the worlds that they've added. There's currently 5 pages on the spiral map here that we can go ahead and tab through. So everyone knows Wizard City. It's the first world you start out in, pretty quick to get through. And then Arc 1 ends with Dragonspire. Grizzleheim is a side world. Arc 2 starts with Celestia. Wisteria is a side world. And then Arc 2 ends with Chrysalis. Polaris is the start of Arc 3. The Arcanum is basically just the new Ravenwood for higher level players. So we have Arc 3 here, which ends with Imperia. Imperia is 2 parts, but it is only 3 worlds. But Imperia can basically be counted as 2 worlds because it is a long world. And then Arc 4 was Caramel through Wallaroo. Wallaroo was the last world that they came out with. I guess I'll say the last major world, because there was another world that came out in 2024. Wallaroo was 2023. And then 2024, they did a world called Selenopolis that I'll get into. But this is where we are at. We have tons of worlds in this game, 5 full pages of worlds, and there's worlds that aren't even listed on here that you can also go to. The max level in the game currently is 170. And you can also get over 20,000 health. If you didn't know that, you can get over 20,000 health now on a life wizard. Maybe some other wizards. I don't know. I feel like life is the only one that can get this much health. So let's go over some of the main updates that Wizard101 got in 2024. For starters, the first one is the Krokotopia revamp. They went through and updated all the graphics of Krokotopia. You can probably tell right now that if you haven't played this game in a long time, you'll definitely notice the difference, because Krokotopia did not used to look like this. It looks a lot newer now. Got a fresh, coat of paint, and it looks nice. I really do like the new Krokotopia. And I think a lot of players appreciate this. They have been going through the worlds. They started with Wizard City, and they just did Krokotopia. I think they're going to continue. I hope they continue through all the Arc 1 worlds that could use an update. So next up would be Marleybone. We'll see if they do that. So with the Krokotopia update, they added a whole new area over here called Selenopolis. And this isn't just a max level area, though all the questing is max level. But they did add an area for level 50 plus wizards and a new system called spell weaving. So this area allows you to get special spells that are just for schools that are combined together. So if you look at my current wizard, I'm an energy weaver, which means I've combined life and storm, and I can get new spells like this energy blade. And on the card, it shows the meshing of the 2 schools together by having, green and purple combined. I would definitely say that this system can be expanded upon in the future, and I'm excited to see what they do with it. But for now, it does give us some new spells that we can try out. Plus, I think it's just a cool idea to combine 2 schools together and get new spells just from that. They also added this new emote wheel that allows you to just click your middle mouse button and you can select any emote that you have assigned to this. It's a lot easier than what it used to be. You used to have to go over here and then click emotes and then do this. It actually just tells you go to use the emote wheel now, which is way easier. They also added a new UI for the bazaar, so you can go in here and instantly go to certain sections of the bazaar that you want to, rather than clicking through all of it. So this is nice, but with that came some bad updates with the bazaar that I'll talk about, because I do want those changed for 2025. The last quality of life change that I'll mention is they did change the mark to only take 10 mana and to be permanent. So if I go ahead and leave that mark over there and then teleport to it, it'll take another 10 mana, but then the mark stays. So now this is my permanent mark in Old Town, and we can keep that, which is really nice because when you're questing, you don't want to have to keep marking and then have the mark go away every time that you port to it. So that is a super good change. So those are the big updates for 2024. What can we expect in 2025? So I'm going to go over some things that I know for a fact are going to be coming out next year. And then we'll go over a list of things that I really want to see that have a less chance of actually happening. Number one thing, and this is what I know a ton of people are asking for. And honestly, at this point, I'm asking for it because we haven't gotten any news of it since it was announced. And that is the release of Wizard101 on console. I made a video of that day one when they announced that and they made the trailer. And then we heard nothing since then. I think they've addressed it a little bit on stream, but there's no actual release date. I really thought it was going to come out this Christmas or like around, you know, the holiday Q4 time because it made sense. But I think they're pushing it out until early 2025. I'm hoping it's like a spring 2025 release or something like that. But yeah, Wiz is confirmed on console. You will be able to play it on Switch, PS5, Xbox eventually. And I'm looking forward to doing that because I would love to play it on my Switch. Just at least try it out. So that is something that should be coming out next year. And I think it is going to come out early 2025. But it might get pushed to like summer or something. Who knows? But that is something that I do expect to come out. So there's this really good event that they run occasionally. And since I came back, I took a year off of Wiz. And then I came back to the game. And I only was able to do this event one time. Because after that, it completely broke. And they haven't brought it back since. And that is the Portal of Peril. So Madame Magda right here has rewards from this, and you get these tokens when you run through this, and you can redeem these for some really good things in the game, like Spellaments, Azoth, and Dream Water, which is the reagent that's needed to craft some of the best gear in the game. And there's a lot of good stuff here. And running this event was actually really nice because I got so much of my gear unlocked from running this event and then redeeming the currency. The last time they ran this event, it completely broke the entire game. And since then, I think they've been working on it, and I don't think there's a fix yet. But I'm expecting this to come back in 2025 sometime. I'm hoping like January 2025, because once that happens, I'm going to run this again. And we're going to do some streams of this, and it should be a lot of fun because this is one of the best events that they run in the game. So I'm looking forward to its return. I really hope that they bring this back and it's good. And it's pretty fun too. So I definitely recommend doing that once it comes back. The next thing that I expect to see is a fix to what they did to the Bazaar in 2024. They absolutely broke the Bazaar. Yes, they changed the UI and made it all fancy and look nicer and stuff, but they broke the rest of it. There is a cooldown now where if you sell something, you don't immediately see it in the Bazaar because this cooldown timer is now in effect where you have to wait. And I guess they said it was to prevent bots from buying things, but it didn't even work. So they need to revert that. I think that's number one. They should go and revert that change because it broke the Bazaar. If you were to go in the Bazaar right now, it probably doesn't even have that many items because of this change. I think they said that it was a bug with the cooldown, but I just personally think they should completely revert this because this is not the Bazaar that I knew. And these reagents are just horrible. There used to be a lot more reagents in here. And there's only one reagent outside of like the normal ones that are just vendor sold. So like none of these are even valuable. Sandstone is the only one that's kind of valuable in here. And it already got bought up. No one buys these because you can just buy these from reagent vendors. I would love to see the Bazaar back to normal. So I'm hoping that's something that they can do. And we can get that early January of 2025. The next major thing that I expect to see in 2025, and this is pretty much a guarantee at this point because they always do this, they are going to release a new world in 2025. And what's really cool about this is this world is going to be the start of Arc 5. We are going to start a new arc in Wizard101 because the storyline did conclude in Wallaroo for Arc 4. There was a world this year that came out, Selenopolis, that continued the main storyline. It is required to do Selenopolis in order to start Arc 5. And the storyline did hint at who the villain could be, like the main villain could be in Arc 5. So we did get a little hint at the story for that. We didn't get too much. But I fully expect there to be a new world at the end of 2025, probably November sometime. And we will be leveling up to level 180. There will be a level 200 in Arc 5. It'll take a few years, but that is definitely going to happen. So next year is going to be level 180 cap. Super excited for that. I mean, I feel like it's so impressive for any MMO to get to level 200. And this MMO has been going on for 16 years. We're at level 170. Next year, 2025, 180. Alright guys, we have made it to the point in the video where I'm going over my wish list now. These are things that I would love to see from the game in 2025. Some of these things might never even make it into the game. Who knows if they consider, you know, my suggestions here. But we're going to do it anyway. So in front of the Selena Gomez statue, we are going to list the things that I would love to see them add into the game in the future. So we're in the guild house, and the reason for that is because number one on my list is a change to guilds. I would love to see this space used in total for guilds to be updated to 120. I think they should just straight up double it. The max accounts you can have in your guild currently is 60. I would love just to be able to add people without even really thinking about it and like caring. But since it's only 60, I have to actually care about who I'm adding. Currently, I'm only adding max levels just because, you know, I feel like max levels help the most. But if I had like 120 space, I'd probably just add whoever to the guild, because it'd be a lot harder to fill up 120 spaces than it is to fill up 60. So that is my number one request. Number two would be add more perks for being in a guild. Add more guild spaces and give some actual passive perks for players. There should be more incentive to join a guild. And then they could open up guilds to lower levels because you get these passive perks like more gold acquired from all sources, or more XP as you level, or, you know, things like that, or extra bag space, extra bank space. Like there's so many things you could do to incentivize players to join guilds. That would be pretty helpful. I would love to see that. I feel like that's something that they should really consider. Or what if there was like a extra gold limit for being in a guild? I would love to see the gold limit also doubled. And if they want to do that and, you know, attach it to the guild and be like, okay, if you're in a guild, then you get a gold cap of 1 million. Players would be joining guilds like crazy in this game. The next thing on my list, I think Wizard101 should finally go and up the base energy in the game. So if you look at my max level 170 wizard, the current base energy is only 130. They stopped raising base energy once you hit 130. I think they should just bite the bullet and be like, okay, we messed up here. The base energy should be whatever level you are. So base energy for a max level wizard should be 170. They should really raise this. I think they should. And then if players want to go further and have energy gear to enhance that and to get even more energy, they should allow that. But I feel like right now, max level wizards should all be at 170. And it should raise every single 10 levels. It should raise by 10. So I say this every single year, and I'm going to say it in this video as well. I think what Wiz should do for 2025 is they should make Wizard City and Crocotopia permanently free. I would say all of Arc 1 free, but I know how they are, and I know they're not going to do that, so I'm not going to suggest that. But Wiz and Crocotopia just makes sense. They need to. They did push the paywall back a little bit this year, and it was just for a limited time. And I hope they either continue doing that or just decide to make both of these worlds free, because there are so many worlds in Wizard101. There is, you know, no reason for the first two to not be free. These worlds are very quick, and I think a lot of players would love playing through Crocotopia for free just to get a real feel of how this game is before actually paying anything and buying a subscription for it. So I think that would be a good idea, and I hope they really consider that, because I think that's a great one. As a final wish list item here, I'm going to say I would love for King's Isle to add a TC overflow into your bank, where there's a section in your bank that has TCs. If you go over the 999 limit, then it just goes in your bank and you can collect them later. And then that also can go to 999. That would be great. The reason I want this is because the bank already allows overflow of all the other items in the game besides TCs. So it just makes sense. Like, why can't we have more space here, or the ability to just have it overflow and go into the bank? I was also thinking about this. I was like, why can't TCs be like reagents where you can collect 999 of each one? I know that sounds crazy, but we have that for reagents. If you go over to reagents, let me go over here. If you go over to reagents, you can have 999 of each reagent in here. Why can't we have that with TCs? What if we had 999 of each TC? I know they could do it mechanically in this game, but I just don't think they want to do it. But that would be a great solution to this. Or just add in the TC vault that they, were thinking about adding 1 year and then decided not to. Because TC solution, I feel like, is needed. Currently what people do is they just make a second account and then have the TC mule take all the TCs. So I'd love for them to reconsider with the TC vault, or, think about how TC storage could work. But I think it ties into the economy, and they hate messing with the economy. They really don't like changing that up. So that is it, guys. Those are the things that I want to see from Wiz in 2025. This game has received consistent updates for a long time now, and I don't see that changing. They have a very consistent update schedule that they've stuck to, and I expect to get that new world at the end of the year next year, so that's always exciting. And then there's also a spring and a summer update that they always do. So don't see any of that changing, and I also don't see the player base changing. If anything, it's going to continue going up, because I know tons of players are constantly, buying the crown sales that they run. There's a lot of microtransactions in this game, and players do, including myself, do buy crowns in order to buy packs and all these things. So the game will continue just because of the dedicated player base, and they probably have a lot of subscribers too that consistently pay for this game every single month. But that is going to do it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a big like on it. Let me know if you're going to be playing Wiz in 2025 at all. With that, hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you all next time.